All right, so we are talking our next subject in our textiles unit, which is laundry. And with this, I will have you guys watch the video completely, and then at the end, there will also be a worksheet that will give you a specific load type, and you will have to determine its treatment and pre-treat, all of those things. You will just simply put an X in the box. All right, here we go. All right, so we will be able to explain the difference between the 4 different ways to sort laundry. We will rank these ways to sort in order of most important. We will describe the different types of weights of clothing and list examples, list and explain the laundry process, and then we will practice making treatment decisions for different types of clothing loads. So the first step in laundry process is sorting. So after collecting your dirty clothes, the first step in doing your laundry is to sort it. Sorting means to separate each piece of clothing into piles that can be washed using the same washer setting. Sorting can be done when considering 4 different options. They are listed in order of most importance and consideration. So, color. Oftentimes we sort by color, lights, darks, and then brights, lights, those types of colors. The kind and amount of soil and the size of laundry load. So the types of colors you can sort: whites, brights, darks, lights, and then color fast. There are these color catchers. So the term color fast is fabric maintains or keeps its color without fading or bleeding or running onto other fabrics. So a lot of times, a lot of your clothing is done that way, but there are some clothing items that will still bleed or their color will transfer onto other clothing items. So non-color fast is colors in the fabric may fade or bleed onto other fabrics when wet. There are these color catchers that prevent that from happening. And then we have type and weight of fabric. So after sorting by color, you go back through your laundry piles and sort again by the weight of clothing. We do this because although blue jeans and a navy blue sweater might both be dark, you wouldn't want to wash your sweater that could easily snag with your jeans, because your jeans are heavy and a zipper could snag that or create it to pill, which are those little tiny, like a ball of fibers on your clothing. So your sweater is lightweight and fragile, and your jeans can damage that. So type and weight of fabric continued. We have loosely woven and knitted shears. So like something like this, which is a woven knit fabric. Sweaters, things that have designs or like intentional holes in them. Those would all want to be put in the same groups. And then lint producing towel sheets, terry cloth. You wouldn't want to wash your towels with your nice sweaters. The lint could transfer from the towel to the sweater, and then that is hard to get off as well. And then there's tightly woven heavy fabrics, things like jeans, khakis, hoodies, and jackets. So not only are we sorting by color, but we're going to sort by these things as well. And then heavily soiled items. Soiled items should be washed separately. Some soils, such as oil, can be transferred to other fabrics in the wash, especially if there's a lot of it. If it is really dirty, wash it separately, probably in the sink. I know that if my husband came home with dirt and, soot or something all over his clothes, I would probably rinse that off in the sink before washing it separately in my washer, because things can also get transferred into the washing machine itself. Size. You may have a huge pile of darks, but you might need to separate it into 2 loads just because it might be too many clothing items for one machine to handle. You also want to be able to mix large and small items in each load for better cleaning and movement in the washer. Don't overload your washer, okay? So think of clothes are like people in a swimming pool. If there are too many people in the swimming pool, you can't swim anywhere. Okay. Clothes can't get clean without coming in contact with lots of water. So the clothes need to be able to swim around in the washer. And if they're jam-packed in there because the load is too large, they're not coming clean. All right, so there are 5 steps in the laundry process. We have sort the clothing. So we just went over color, okay, size, type of fabric, and then heavily soiled. So we did the sort. And then pre-treat the stains. Heavily soiled areas, again, if it's really dirty, wash it separately. If you have a stain, you need to pre-treat it. So you want to take a stain remover of some sort. You can also take a like a washcloth and get a little damp and then dab it in a little extra detergent and kind of scrub the stain. If you don't have a stain remover, you find these in the store next to the laundry detergent. This is a Tide one, for example. If you have a stain and you don't pre-treat it, the chances of it coming out just in a normal wash are slim, and then if you dry it, that's going to set the stain, and then your stain will be there forever. If you have a grease spot on your shirt, use Dawn dish soap. That helps things come out. Ink, hairspray helps ink come out. Those are just a few tips. All right, number 3, mend or repair. This is something we will kind of talk about once we get into this hand sewing unit on how to mend or fix things. If you get a hole in something, it's only going to get bigger in the wash. Okay, as close tug on it, things like that. So before washing it, leave it out, fix the hole, or fix the button, things like that before washing it so it doesn't stretch out. Operate the washing machine. Every washing machine is different, but also every washing machine is going to have a temperature setting for the water. It's important to know that hot water is going to set stains, shrink clothes, fade colors. It also costs more because you have to run the water heater and energy to heat up the water, or use energy to heat up the water. I never use hot water when doing laundry unless I'm disinfecting like sheets or towels for whatever reason. That is typically when colors fade into, we've all probably seen the commercials where they're washing a white load of laundry and the red socks get put in with it by accident, and then all of your clothes turn pink. Okay, majority of the time that is because hot water is being used. So when in doubt, don't use hot water. Warm water causes little damage to clothing. I do use warm water on all of, like, if I have solid whites, a load of solid whites, I will do warm water occasionally. Cold water protects fabric, prevents shrinkage, prevents fading. It allows stains to remove easier, and it works best with detergents. It costs the least, so don't spend your money on that fancy cold water. And it uses the same for every water temperature. And again, I use this on everything. Select the rinse water temperature. Not all washers have this setting. I know mine only has, my rinse water is going to be the same temperature as my wash cycle. So, but if yours has this, it is best to use cold. So every washer will, after the wash cycle, will drain and then do another rinse cycle to make sure detergent is rinsed of the clothing. And then cold water allows the rinse cycle to work best. The laundry process, so select water level and agitation cycle. So in using, again, not all have this setting, but the newer ones most likely do, newer models of washing machines. The normal setting for medium and heavy weight is what is common, and then use the delicate setting for lightweight fabrics or delicate items. It washes just as well when as the normal, so when in doubt, use the delicate setting. You can also put delicate items in laundry bags, which is, there's a picture right here. things that have hooks or large zippers, it's always a good idea to put in a laundry bag to wash so those hooks and things don't snag on other things. Select laundry products. Chlorine or liquid bleach is mainly used on white cotton fabrics and should be mixed well with the water before adding the clothing. If it is poured directly on the clothing, it will turn whites, oftentimes pink or light brown, instead of keeping them white. Always use the amount of detergent recommended on the box or less. If it's extra dirty, don't add more soap, just wash it twice. And I'm going to say you cannot add dishwashing detergent or soap to the laundry. It creates bubbles and it does not work. It is a mess. So only use washing machine soap detergents that are meant for that. Detergents come in either liquid or powder form, or even the tablets now. And just check with your washer to see which one works best. Operating the dryer, again, high heat damages clothing, medium heat does less damage, low heat is the least damaging but takes longer to dry. Hanging dry, you want to hang dry all of your delicates. It does take the longest, but it won't ruin your clothing. An average load of clothing requires about 60 minutes of dry time. So, in short, we have our laundry steps. First one is sort, pre-treat, mend or repair, wash, and dry. All right, so this won't be a partner activity because you're at home, but you'll look at the loads of clothing on the left-hand side of the worksheet to wash, and then you will determine what needs to happen with that particular load of clothing by putting an X in there. So the activity will be linked in your calendar, and you will fill this in and turn it in when you are finished.